going to continue on with our discussion of gestalt and how it applies to the designs that we will make, and how it can add to the discussion of art and design. Remember gestalt, and listen to the way I'm pronouncing gestalt is German for form. Typically you'll hear this, it's a psychological principle, and you'll typically hear it defined as the whole is greater than the sum of its parts, which is an okay definition, but not great definition. Better definition, and since you're students of design and you're going forward, you should have a more precise and sophisticated knowledge of this stuff than people who are not designers, is that if you remove a detail from the whole, that detail by itself does not give any information about the whole. Yeah, that's a mouthful. It's just meditate on it and see if you agree or disagree with it. And the big deal, the reason why we're discussing gestalt in a design class is that the viewer wants to figure out your work. They want to figure out your layout, your artwork. And so let's use gestalt, this principle of gestalt that's going on in everyone's mind. Let's use it to our advantage to make it easier for the viewer to understand our artwork. So there are what's known as gestalt grouping strategies that we can use in our work. The first one we'll talk about is proximity. This is the grouping strategy of proximity. Proximity means closeness, how close things are to each other. If we look on the left, there's 4 objects, one in each corner. Yeah, they're in one box and they must belong together somehow or other, right? But if we look on the right, putting those objects closer together, on the right side, our brain is telling us, oh, those 4 objects belong together. On the left side, not so much. All right, so put things within proximity of each other, put things close together, it looks like they belong together. Before we move off of proximity, if we put things in a grid, like on the left is the composition we just saw on the previous cell. On the right, I put those 4 objects lined up into a grid system, and you can see the unification of it intensifies. So the composition on the right looks very, very unified. We know that all belongs together. It looks very ordered. Our mind has no problem connecting the dots and putting those 4 objects together. On the left, yeah, it's okay. They look like they belong together, but on the right, the best way I could put it is the unity is intensified. So grid systems will intensify the unity of your compositions. Another grouping strategy is repetition. So this one's a little bit tricky. The 4 on the left, no, there's really not any unity going on there. But if we look on the right, what I want you to notice is, yeah, the triangles belong together and the vertical bars belong together. That's true. But what I want you to notice here is that we view this set of triangles, this repeated lines of triangles, as one unit, and we view these repeated bars as one unit, and this little circle is the odd man out. Okay, so by repeating the shapes, what we're saying is like, okay, this big line of bars is somehow related to this line of triangles. There's a similarity between those two. This thing, no, there's no there's something, this does not seem to be belonging with these other two. Okay, so by repeating the shape, you can create some unity through repetition. So repeated shapes are seen as belonging together, and also repeated shapes are seen as one unit. Okay, so another word for repetition that designers use is pattern. Unity through similarity is a biggie, used quite frequently. If we look on the left, the circles belong with circles, squares belong with squares. On the right side, we even unify little circles with big circles. Okay, so circles and circles, those are similar. Another grouping strategy, gestalt principle is closure. If we look on the left, our brain automatically sees like a white square, okay, because there's four black triangles. Within is the white square. So like our brain is fabricating this white square. Now I want you to, some people disagree with me on this, but it's true. In that, on the left side, there is no square in that composition. Okay, I'm not talking about this border here, but I mean this in here is not a square. Our brain is connecting, or is making points that it's a square. There's four triangles in there. I'll agree with that. On the right side, we see that as an ellipse or an egg shape. Again, there is no ellipse here at all. It's three odd shapes put together that our mind puts together to make an ellipse. So we're filling in the blanks. Okay, so whatever's in the field of vision, we're filling in the blanks to make an object, and that's called closure. All right. Figure ground is a useful one too. If you're familiar with the works of Martin Escher, a great illustrator, he uses figure ground quite a bit in his compositions. Figure ground is, these are like really obvious because I got half black, half white. So you could say on the left it's a white, looks like, like a city skyline or something on a black background, or you could say it's black shapes on a white background. But the thing is, your eye on both of these, on the left and the right, you're flipping between the black and the white. Okay, so in other words, you're unifying both sides, the white and the black, because your eye is going back and forth. Continuance is the last one we'll look at. Continuance is, we complete the form when we can't see it. This is when it's going outside the field of vision. So on the right, we all know that's a letter E in this culture because we've seen it so many times. On the left, that's definitely a ring or a circle. And once again, there is, on this screenshot you're looking at, there is no circle here anywhere. Okay, but your brain is just connecting this up with continuance. So just to repeat, continuance is filling in the blanks, but you're going outside the field of vision. Closure, filling in the blanks inside the field of vision. So those are the grouping strategies that we will use to unify our compositions. And in the upcoming screencast on Unity, I will show you examples of artwork where the designers use these grouping strategies.